Hello and welcome to the beautiful city of Olomouc. We're just about 2 hours on a luxury train ride away from Prague, and we're about to show you some cool spots here. Ty vole, brácho, tohle je jako fucking top, ty vole. The city of Olomouc is really full of cool spots. For example, right here, these are not just random rocks. This is a geopark because we're in the university campus that is all around here because students are literally all around here. For a 100,000 city, there's 23,000 students. And this is one of the buildings of Palacký University in Olomouc. Let's go check it out because there's some things we want to show you. We are on the rooftop of the Faculty of Science. It's the 6th floor and not only accessible to students that study here, but to general public. And since we're up high, you do get a perfect overview of the entire city. We came here in the afternoon, but if you show up in the morning or during lunchtime, there is actually a bistro right here at the top, so you can get some drinks or snacks for your view. Now, if I don't lure you into the Faculty of Science for the view, I hope to lure you in for this science experiment that they actually have inside the building. And it's the biggest one we have in the country. This is Foucault's Pendulum. And it's a ball on a very, very long string that actually proves one thing. And that is that the planet Earth is spinning, or it's not spinning, it's rotating on its axis. I knew I was going to make a mistake in this explanation, but it was installed here by one of the students, and basically if you take a pendulum, it should be just going in a straight line. But since our planet is turning around, this pendulum eventually goes off track and goes into circles, which proves that the planet Earth is rotating. If I did not make any sense, I'm sorry, but come check it out, it's pretty cool. The amount of tips we got from the locals for restaurants here in Olomouc is endless. And we just arrived to 2 of them. One tip was U Červeného volka, and the other one is a Kathamandu restaurant. And we actually just took a peek inside, and it smells delicious. So let's go sample it. And since it's a Nepali restaurant, you gotta climb up high to it. The food smells amazing and is very delicious. And during lunchtime, you can actually do the buffet, so you can get all you can eat and some meat. And all the locals that are here are saying that it's their favorite restaurant here in Olomouc. I have to admit, it's only my 3rd time here in Olomouc. The first time I was making a video about ugly architecture, and the second time I literally just ran through because me and Honza, we ran half a marathon here. Speaking of one of the most popular tourist destinations here in Olomouc, it's definitely the Astronomical Clock behind me, as you can tell from the crowds that are waiting for the full hour. The original one was from the 15th century, but the current edition is from 1955. And it's pretty straightforward. I mean, we were wondering if we have to like teach you how to read it. I don't think so. There's one arrow that's giving you the time, the other one's giving you the day, it's giving you the month, it's giving you the minutes. Pretty simple, but I like it. A landmark here in the city that placed Olomouc on the UNESCO World Heritage Map is this Holy Trinity column behind me. It took more than 37 years to finish it. It goes up to 32 meters and there are exactly 30 Baroque statues on it. It is absolutely beautiful and massive, so make sure you won't miss it when you visit. Now, if you think that everything I just told you was from Wikipedia, nope. I was told this information by a cat. Yep, the city placed these info cats around and they will explain you what you're looking at and what it is. As we were preparing this episode, we obviously talked to the locals to give us some tips and recommendations. And the most tips we got was for this place. This is, long story short, it's not only a coffee place that is here, but there's also a restaurant in the courtyard that is quite nice. And this newly reconstructed building also offers accommodation. And one more thing, Olomouc is very popular for their smelly cheese. It's a tiny little cheese. They're called Tvarůžky, Olomoucké Tvarůžky, and they actually do sampling here. So if you want to sample the sweet and the salt version and the version from the grill, this is the place to go to. But I'm kind of surprised that everyone told us about this place and nobody told us that just around the corner, there's even a cooler place for dudes like us. Now, if you think we're showing you another bar or another restaurant, no, we're not, because we actually ourselves found that there is a racetrack. Well, let's go racing, I guess. I can't believe nobody told us that on the 11th floor of this garage complex are go-karts. Absolutely epic. One of the coolest go-karts tracks and go-karts I've actually ever driven. So if you happen to be here, this is a thing to try. It's so slippery, tight corners, and you're in a garage going from one floor to another. Really cool. Back in the 18th century, this building we're in was a fortress to protect the city. Nowadays, it's a fortress of knowledge where kids get to learn stuff. And not only kids, but also us. So let's go discover it here. Whoa, whoa, come on, come on, come on. Whoa, whoa. Ne, vy přidáváte, já to cítím. Já to strašně cítím, že vy přidáváte, šéfe. Whoa. Absolutely amazing. I was a bit worried you were going to see what I had for breakfast, but this is great. Learning is not only about going to classes at a university, but also about literally touching the science, and that's exactly what you can do. The university has set up sort of a science center here where you can not only touch things, but you can experience things for yourself. I've experienced one of the things. It was really something. We spent a lot of time here, so I recommend you save a lot of time for this entire science center. Definitely worth every minute. Can you tell what is under the microscope? Palacký University is named after him. Well, my brain is completely full of knowledge now, but my stomach is empty, so let's go find a place to eat here in Olomouc. I'm sure you know that we love these tray table restaurants, and this one is quite unique. You can probably already tell by looking at the food. I got a roast beef, Honza got a goulash with a sausage. And this, believe it or not, this Bistro Paulus is actually owned and run by a Michelin star chef. That's why the food looks like this, and I bet you it's gonna taste good as well. Unbelievably good. Unbelievably good. Even though the historical center of Olomouc is the second largest in our country, it is actually quite small and manageable to walk around. It's obviously full of history, but mainly it's full of cool spots that I absolutely loved. I mean, we've been to students' coffee places, we've been to luxury bistros, we discovered hidden gems, we went to a dive bar. Absolutely love to discover this town. I hope you will as well, and for sure, you will not come across a tourist trap. you may wonder how we actually pick spots and places to show you in cities we don't know. Well, we do a mixture of tips from either people, locals, our friends, in this case students. We obviously check reviews on Google Maps, but sometimes we just pick a place because of its name. And this pub is called Mikulda Šnyt. And Honza's last name is Mikulka, and he likes to drink a Šnyt, which is a small beer in a large glass. So Honza, this place is just for you. Cheers. By the way, a bit of honesty, not only from me, but also from this place. There's a board that talks about this building here, and it says, not really an important building for the city. Why do you write it on the board then? Like, oh, welcome to this building. Not important at all. Oh, hi there. Welcome to the Bended Gallery. Kind of cool. We came upon a local brewery that is called St. Wenceslas. Right there is St. Wenceslas. It's a statue from Prague, but it's very local here for Olomouc. So we got their local beer, and there's one thing we didn't tell you about that is so local for Olomouc you would not believe it. I mean, if you say the name of the city, the first thing that will pop in our minds is this: a plate with their smelly cheese. My dad would eat this like crazy, and as a kid I would hate it because it smells horrible. I think I had it a couple times in my life, but we felt like showing it to you on the video, so we will taste it. But don't worry, we also got some typical Czech food to please your eyes on our video. It smells like my feet after a very long hike. But it tastes delicious. As you could imagine, for any major student city, there are many street food options, but the one recommended the most was definitely the street pizza. Neapolis-style pizza right here, ready for you. Mnyam. Mnyam means yummy in Czech, and I bet you this is gonna be yummy. Street pizza, so why not eat it on the street while it's warm? It's absolutely delicious. The only bad thing about this place is they shut down at 9 p.m. because this is exactly what I was craving for last night when we were hungry around midnight. So here's a message to you owners: stay open late. We have received a lot of food tips for Olomouc, but we cannot eat so many meals a day. Right now we're in the Burger and Beer Brothers place, and lucky for us, we don't need to order meals because they're just about to have a photo shoot of their burgers, so we can show them to you. Cheers. And as Honza said, we can have multiple beers a day. True. This may come out wrong, but I'm actually really happy that today I don't have to eat anymore. But boy, they smell and look delicious. If there's one cool student bar all the students go to, it's this one, Vertigo, nicknamed the V. And we just talked to the bartender here, and he said, well, one of the most popular drinks I make here is the Teleport. So what the hell is that? And he said, well, that's a shot of local slivovitz and a shot of absinthe mixed together because it moves you places. And he said some of the Erasmus students, when they have a couple of those, they get moved all the way from here to Spain. So be careful with those, we'll just stick to the local beer. So you know what the student bar is, but if there's one place that is really local, it's this one. It's called the Submarine, but for some reason the actual name of it is by the museum. And since we talked about the column, if there's one place that should be in the UNESCO Heritage Site, it is this one. Nazdraví. Well, this was a big experience, man. Big one. This behind me is the second tallest building here in Olomouc, and it's open to public. You know what that means. This building is actually open to public, so if you take the elevator all the way to the 18th floor and you avoid this flower, you will get a perfect view of the entire city. There's the historical center, here's the railroad station, and so on. And not only a view, there is actually, I kid you not, a Chinese restaurant, but I mean like the cool Chinese restaurant. We just talked to some people inside and they said it's actually the best sushi in Olomouc. Well, we didn't have it, so you have to come here for the view and also to sample the sushi. It's kind of a bizarre combination, but it's pretty cool. As you could see, Olomouc is a cool city full of cool spots and cool people, and as we mentioned, a lot of students. We were actually invited to come here by their university, Palacký University of Olomouc, and they wanted to lure you in not only to come visit, but to come to study here. And there are many options you can get. Now, don't think of their university of some campus being outside of the city. No, the faculties are all around the city center, so you will actually study and live inside the city. And by the way, if you study in Czech, you learn how to speak Czech, you can study here for free. The city and the people here are very open-minded, and it is open for you to discover, so please do so. We will link a map with all the places we showed you today below the video, and we will also link the university, so maybe one day you'll come here not as a tourist, but as a student, and I bet you will fall in love with the city just like we did in the couple days we spent here. We're the honest guides, Honza and Janek. We're right by the train station because we're about to hop on a train and go back to our home city, which is Prague. And we'll film something there for you, and you can see it on our channel next week. So till then, bye-bye. And in the end, as always, I'm going to teach you a very useful Czech word. This time it is how to say fortress. So fortress is pevnost. Pevnost is fortress. Also, pevnost is if you want to say something is very strong, like a fortress. Pevnost.